Hey there, and welcome to another episode of One Email, Two Takes. I'm Will Allred, and if you haven't been here before, what we do is we take an email that was either submitted to us for feedback or one that we've actually received, and we offer our breakdown of that email, and we offer two different write-ups of how we would rewrite that email and walk through that as well. Now, I keep saying we because I'm usually joined by my co-host, Christina Finza. She couldn't make it this week, and so this week, I've actually written two different versions of how I could approach a particular email. If you don't know, I'm Will Allred. I'm one of the co-founders at a company called Lavender. We see millions of emails every single month go through our software. And so I've got a lot of data that I can point to and talk about when it comes to email. But this week, the data point that I want to talk about is personalization, as well as length. Now, let me share my screen so you can see the email that was submitted for feedback. One of the things that I love about this email is the creativity that was involved in putting this together. So I'll read through it, but it's an actual story. I feel like I'm walking into this cafe. So subject line, imagine you walk into a cafe, your favorite song is playing. There is no cue. The barista says, hey, I'll use my name. Hey, Will. He knows your usual order. He charges the balance to your loyalty card. In less than a minute, your beverage is in hand. You're in and out in 2 minutes, but you want to stay longer because it's a friendly place with a warm, fun atmosphere. So you take your time, enjoy your coffee, get a pastry to go and say, see you tomorrow, knowing you'll never get this experience from another cafe. Easy, engaging, familiar from start to finish. Your customers could feel like this online by using the behavioral data you already have. Shall we discuss? Cheers, said rep. Now, here's where this email kind of falls flat. So I love the creativity. One of the things that's actually really great about it is it's not written at an overly complex level. So somebody can read through this at a fairly, it's not hard to understand, right? It's written at a 6th grade reading level, which if you know me, I love to harp on the fact that the best emails are written at a 5th grade reading level. And so this is pretty spot on. Most emails are written at or beyond a 10th grade reading level. It makes it too hard for your reader to understand. But where this kind of falls flat is, one, when somebody comes to their inbox, they're not really looking for story time, right? They're looking for problems that they have. They've got to go solve challenges. It's their to-do list. And so the thing that kind of missed out was tying this back to something relevant, something personal. I mean, the account that this person was trying to send this email to is like an enterprise account. And so they get a ton of email in their inbox and they don't have time to read through story time. And so while I love the creativity, I think it kind of fell flat in actually engaging on a relevant topic. The other piece to it is it's very long. So you're asking a reader to do a lot of work to get from top to bottom in this. It's not a short note. So when I took a couple passes at rewriting it, the first one, I did my own version of story time. But before I read my story, the way I approached the story is I did my research on the prospect first and foremost. Now, the person they're reaching out to is super active on LinkedIn. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a slam dunk. There's so much information for me to sort through. And so I decided to focus on something that's going on at the company that she is personally involved with. And that is they are making an expansion into India. And so one of the things that was front and center on this woman's LinkedIn profile was this article where she was interviewed about their expansion into India and the main challenges that they see. Main challenge that she noted was the mobile experience. So I wove that into the story to make it feel like A, it's relevant, but B, I can actually tie it back to how we can help and why we should have a conversation. Because remember, this person probably gets a lot of emails. And so you kind of have to make it relevant in order for it to really stand out. And so with that, I made the subject line, the India experience. And then the note goes as follows. So their first name, Imagine you're going into a cafe in New Delhi. Your phone buzzes and you're presented with the daily special. It happens to be a list of your favorites. You click, you're given a table number to relax at. This experience isn't sci-fi. As an innovation leader, you know this. As you expand into India, I believe we can be your digital infrastructure for making this happen. Open to a conversation on this. I can bring some learnings from our mobile first project with, and then I listed a case study that was on their website that is perfect for this conversation. It's not that you can't do story time, right? I actually think it's a very clever approach that definitely stands out. It's that story time has to resonate, and it has to actually include the main character of the story, which is her, the recipient. And so that's why I wove in New Delhi as the place of where that cafe is. It's why I talk about the phone buzzing, because she's thinking about mobile as part of her strategy for going into India. And, I pull in the fact that I know that she's an innovation leader. I pull in that as you expand into India, I believe that we can help you with this, right? It's not overly long. I think it's right around like 75 words, which if we look at the best practice data for email, you want to keep it to 25 to 50 if you're looking for the most response. But we're not far off at that 74, 73 word moment, right? And the only reason it really goes over is because of this last sentence, where I'm really just trying to offer up, like, here's exactly what I'll bring to the table for this conversation, which is when you're in the enterprise, like, you only have so much time for conversation. And that's why I'm trying to showcase that there's going to be value attached to it. Now, that's me writing a story, right? Take it as it is. Maybe you think there's better ways to do it. Now, I also approached it how I would normally approach a cold email. And so I did the subject line as India and mobile. So that person's first name. I was reading about your expansion into India. You outlined the very different needs of these consumers. As you pointed out, India is a mobile first market. But as you may have come to learn, India isn't just one market. You'll need to be prepared to deliver a personalized experience on a wild variety of devices. We helped the exact same case study I mentioned above nail this in about 6 months. I think it's worth a conversation to see if that experience can apply here. Now, my approach to this is very simple. I made this observation while reading this. Here's exactly what you outlined. That India is a mobile first market. That's the challenge, right? I'm going to present out a new challenge, which is something that she probably already knows, but at the same time, it brings to light the importance of delivering those personalized experiences, which is the idea of India being one market is pretty laughable, right? There's several different subsections, several different subcultures that you have to be mindful of. So with that, and that's something that she would know, you'll need to deliver a personalized experience on a wild variety of devices. Explain exactly that we've done that before. So provide credibility. So it's like, there's a problem. You're going to need this solution. We've done this before. And do you want to see if we can actually fit here? That's the idea. So I come across this a lot when I'm talking to folks selling into the enterprise. It's, we overthink it, but then we underthink the things that are really important, which is when you're trying to stand out, when you're trying to really engage and connect with somebody, you have to get specific to the things that are going on their to-do list, right? And one of the easiest ways to do that is to just do your research and weave that into what it is that you're talking about. You can't automate your way through the enterprise. So hopefully these examples were helpful. Hopefully this episode was helpful. By all means, if you have emails that you would like to submit for feedback, you can reach out to me or Christina via LinkedIn, and we're happy to connect. But until next time, I'm Will Allred, and this was One Email, Two Takes. If you subscribe to Sales Hacker, you either get this through their YouTube channel or you get it on their weekly email that goes out. Awesome. Thank you all.